play public. Hello, everybody. How you doing? It's your buddy Uncle Bruce here, and he's trying to hang on to his voice. He's doing the best he can with what he's got. All in all, he's generally okay. Although this room, he's doing the best he can. Let me pause it. We're having fun here in Zurich, Jen and I. Jen and I are now in Zurich, Switzerland. Welcome. We arrived safe and sound after a long train ride yesterday, but it was a beautiful train ride. Gorgeous day. Great train, and everything was fine. And the views out of the windows just got better and better and better. It was unbelievable. No problem. What we're having fun with here, Jennifer and I, is that we're in our room here in Zurich. And when we got here yesterday, I guess we got into the room around 6 something. I can't remember. The hottest hours of the day are in that 4 to 6 o'clock kind of range. That's when everything is sort of topped out. And it was 84, 85 degrees outside. And that would translate into about 31, 32, maybe 33 Celsius. Warm. Okay. Get into our room, and we go to our, get in here, and we find the climate control button thingy. And the thingy says that the temperature in the room is 23.5 Celsius. Now, ideally, we kind of enjoy it when it's 20, 21 Celsius. So that's like 70 degrees, 72 degrees, room temperature. But at 23.5, that puts us at about 78 degrees. That's a little... I might even be wrong on that. It might put us at 75, and in any of it, it's too warm. Okay, it's too warm. So Jennifer starts reading the instructions on how to cool down the room, and she sets the room temperature to 20. And the little note that describes how to do everything says that once you do that, your indicator on the wall there will flash the temperature you've set for 10 seconds, and then it will show you the temperature in the room. And so, it knows you want to go to 20, it's at 23.5. So I'm thinking, well, that means in like a half an hour from now, it might show 22.5. And 2 hours from now, it might show 21.5. We're on our way to 20. But then there's one more note. one little more thing. Okay, one little last thingy. Apparently, according to local regulations, which we know nothing about this, the hotel rooms can only be set 6 degrees Celsius below the outside temperature. So if it's if it's 32.5 Celsius outside, the lowest the room can be is 26.5 Celsius. This makes you laugh so hard you lose your voice. So if it's 90 out, 90, the best it can be is 80 in your hotel room. And when the outside temperature theoretically drops to 88, then you can be at 78, you see, and so on, right? So we're looking at the weather app going, whoa, what's the temperature going to be for the next several hours? And more importantly, forget about tonight, which was last night. Well, that was Thursday night. What about on Friday, when Uncle Bruce is supposed to put on his t-shirt and set up his computer and his lighting and go on the air live to his viewers? What will the outside temperature be at that point in time? And what could the temperature be inside the room? Oh, gosh. So we thought, well, overnight, the room should get down to 20, because outside it got to about 24, 22, which is great. It was 72, 73, overnight low. Fine. We should be down to 70 And hopefully we'll keep the curtains closed and the sunshine out, and we'll have the air conditioner on its maximum setting. And by the time showtime starts, it'll be 20, 20 and a half, 21 Celsius. It'll be like 71, 72 degrees in here. Right? I think right now it's about 24 Celsius in here. I think right now it's 78 Fahrenheit in this room, and it's only getting warmer. So no relief for the YouTuber. And I've never heard of this so-called regulation regarding, this is quotation, regulation regarding 6 degrees Celsius differential between the outside and the inside is the maximum you can go. And I'm guessing this is for global warming purposes or something. I don't know. But I kind of ask myself this question. When I buy something, like I buy one of these Coke Zeros, by the way, my Coke Zero is Swiss made. You know what that means? It's got a lot of taxes on it. So if I buy that and I'm paying for this hotel room and I eat food at a restaurant and we do it, we spend money on anything. There are a lot of taxes built into a lot of services and goods. And a lot of these taxes have been introduced in the last few years to battle climate change. So I think Jen and I are paying our fair share towards the battle towards climate change, which tells me, I think, that I should have a 70-degree room in my room since I'm paying taxes to get the temperature down here. But apparently, no matter how much you pay, and if I were a billionaire or something, first of all, I wouldn't be in this room, but if I were in this hotel in a bigger suite and I have it this warm in here, I'd be upset. And that's what's going on. So I don't know what to make of it. I don't know. It's Switzerland, I guess. It's pretty. It's gorgeous. It's nice. We're not complaining about the city and the area. We've only just got here. We're going to be in the country for the next month. So we're hoping to have very good reports for you about everything. We'll let you know. But in any event, just having fun. Anyway, as you can tell, the voice is rough. I don't know how long I can last. I'm going to do the best I can. I know that after today, I'm off the air tomorrow, Saturday. I'm off the air Sunday. Monday's a holiday in the U.S. No markets, so I don't have to do the market live show. I will likely be live and do a 1 hour Traveling with Bruce segment, TWB, on my other channel. But other than that, I'll be off the rest of it. And then Tuesday, I'll be back with you. So the hope is by Tuesday, these vocals will be a lot better. We'll see what happens. Okay, so doing the best I can. I'm trying to keep hydrated. We've got wonderful Swiss water here. It's very good. And I got my cola made in Switzerland, so we should be okay. Thank you all very much. I am not suffering from mega fevers or terrible cough spells or just uncontrollable spasms or nothing like that. It's working its way out. That's what we're doing. So, crossing our fingers. Jennifer is just fine. She seems to be good, and I'm getting better. So, okay, let's take that. Now, the markets. Stock markets are plain English with Uncle Bruce. Welcome to the show. We're up 230 on the Dow right now, 230 points pre-market. We've been up all morning. S&P is up 34, and the NASDAQ is up 132. In percentage terms, the NASDAQ is up 1.19, S&P up 0.95, the Dow up 0.75. So we're definitely much better on an uplift than we've had all week. This is a very good pre-market level, all right, which should mean that upon opening and in the first few hours, we should be up. We might add to this. Now, why is that? Well, we are so far down from where we were. This can't get any a lot worse is the sort of the thinking. Okay. Um, as far as the Dow Jones goes, let me take a peek here for less than a while. Oh my gosh. Um, yeah, right now we're at 30,146. All right. Back on the about the 27th of May, which is 3 weeks ago, we were at 33,158. We were 3,000 points higher a month ago, not even a month ago. We were at 33,000 around the 5th of June. On the 7th of June, I think so. Yeah, 7th of June, 33,165. We were still 3,000 points higher than we are now. That's 10% drop in 10 days. That's how far the Dow's come down, 3,000 points. All right. So to say we're a little oversold is a bit of an understatement. Yeah, we're a little oversold. So to theoretically have today, Monday and Tuesday come together and give us a 1,200 point, 1,400 point recovery, it's a nothing burger. We're not going to get it in one day. It will have to be a series of days. But there are other issues. We have to worry about other countries following suit with the Americans having just bumped their rate by 3/4 of a point. Who else is coming to the party with this one, and how bad will it be? And other countries are going to come out with measures to try to combat inflation against their citizenry and stuff. We have all that to worry about, so we'll wait for that. All right, we'll see what's going on. Thank you everybody for these thumbs ups. They're coming in. Thank you everybody. Now I want to talk to you a little bit about something I heard this morning. That I go on this rant once in a while, and I will never stop talking about this because it is so simple. The solution to a problem that we're facing is so simple, and yet we will not do it. We will not be told to do it. It will not be indicated to you to do it. Because even someone who would indicate that this is the solution to a problem we have, that person would risk certainly their political career. So no politician is going to tell you what I'm going to tell you. Unless the politician is truly thinking of retiring anyway, they have no reason to want to tell you what I'm about to tell you. Here's the solution to the problem. Here's the problem. First of all, the problem is the war in the Ukraine. And this is a several-pronged problem. That's part of the problem, the war in Ukraine. Second part of the problem is inflation. The third part of the problem is higher interest rates that we're now enjoying. So if you want to lower interest rates, you want to reduce inflation, and you want the war in Ukraine to go Ukraine's way and to go via the West, the supporters of Ukraine's way, the solution would be use 1 gallon of fuel less every day in your life. And that's all you got to do. So if you normally go to your local Costco and you fill up every time, and you figure that, I usually buy 15 gallons at a time when I fill up. You do your mathematics and go, well, I come here, every week. I'm going to buy 8 gallons of gas, and I'm going to stop the pump at 8. And whatever I got, that's all I'm going to use for the next week. And you're going to modify your whole world around that. Right? That's 1 gallon a day less in a vehicle. Right? If every one of us did that, and I mean, it has to be, we got to be all in on this. This war would turn quickly, and the prices at the pump plummet quickly. Prices for oil would plummet quickly. There would be a gazillion barrels of oil everywhere in the world with nowhere to go because it would just back up the supply chain and it would just go right back to the Middle East and they would be bloated with the stuff. And same in Nigeria, and the same in Venezuela, and the same in Mexico. And Canada would have too much oil. The United States, there'd be too much. It's all it would take. 1 gallon a person less per day. Now, you've got a family of 5. You drive a minivan and a pickup truck. How in the world are you going to stop 5 gallons a day of gas in your life? One for every person in the house? That's got to be tough. But then again, I would bet you're using more than 15 gallons a week. Probably, if you're in suburbia, you're driving more than 15 gallons a week now. You're probably driving 30 gallons a week, maybe 40 gallons a week. I don't know. There has to be ways to cut this back. Okay, so I want to go to another tangent. Same topic, oil, oil, oil. But I want to talk to you about something I heard this morning that just, it made me laugh, but it's not funny, but it made me laugh. In Canada, where I'm from, albeit I'm homeless, but from where I come from in Canada, where Auntie Jen comes from in Canada, and from America, and in the UK, and Europe as a whole, and every country in the world that imports oil from Saudi Arabia, UAE, anywhere else from the Mideast, okay? All of us. All right. So that would mean really the G20 countries, just to be generalistic about it. That includes Japan, South Korea, and then European countries. Includes China too, because they're a G20 country. But I'm not really focusing on China so much. But fair enough. We are saps. we are pansies. We're absolute pansies in the oil business. And I'll tell you what, we're addicted to this stuff and we won't use less of it. We have the means to use a lot less of it. We've always had it. We have now created the technology to really use a lot less of this oil if we really put our minds to it. And we have used a lot less oil to fire up power plants. Kudos on us. We're using a lot less oil in ships because we don't allow bunker fuel burning ships anymore as the norm, especially like cruise ships, for example. You can't bring a cruise ship into Marseille, France, or Barcelona. I think even Miami, you're not allowed to do this anymore. You can't bring in these black smoke spewing ships that burn this really cheap, dirty, disgusting fuel. That when the smoke goes out, what happens is when the smoke comes back down, and it does, a few miles behind the ship when it's running, back there, what falls back into the sea is an oily soot that lands in the salt water. And the convention is, well, it just dissolves into the salt water. It accumulates and it causes problems. But okay. We've improved a lot, okay, and we can continue to improve. We're now seeing more homes with solar panels, and boy, do we see homes here in Europe. Oh my God, between Germany and Austria and Switzerland, solar panels. Oh my God, windmills. Oh, there are windmills here like you cannot believe there are windmills here. Windmill farms on farms. So they got the cows chomping the grass, and the sheep chomping the whatever, and the farmers growing the hay, and then there are these windmills everywhere. It's incredible. That's happening. But the problem is we're still addicted to this cheap but easily accessible product called fuel, oil, from these Mideast guys. And here's the kicker. Here's what made me chortle. This morning I heard a story about how the White House is scrambling. And I mean, they have been scrambling for months, day and night. The president has put people on this, come up with a solution to help Americans with this ridiculous inflation thing we got going on right now. What can we do to help Americans with inflation? And one of the suggestions, there were many, 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 and they're still coming out. One of the suggestions was we should help Americans with their ability to buy fuel for their vehicles rather than tell them to drive less, which is political suicide. No politician's going to tell you that ever, ever. Jimmy Carter tried it, didn't work too well for him. So instead of using less, you'll use just as much, but we'll help you buy it. So the United States government has been trying to figure out a way, and this is the administration. This is not Nancy Pelosi. This is not Schumer and the senators. This is the White House scheming here. They're scheming. We could give every American a card. It's like a debit card that would have a credit on it. And the credit, they could use it to buy fuel. So it might be, say, you have a car, you get every 3 months, you get $100. So $33 a month towards your cost of fuel. So if you're spending, $100 a month on gas, I'm just spitballing here. Don't be mad at me if I'm not giving you your number. But if you spend $100 a month on gas, here's $33, and now you're only spending 67 of your money. Well, that 33 actually is your money. It's your tax money. But let's not get too technical here. The bike riders of America are going to go, what are we, chopped liver? We're paying for higher fuel. Everything else we buy is more expensive because of fuel. But gasoline does go into a bicycle. So, but the experts, the White House brought in experts to say, can we do this? Like, how hard would this be? How easy would this be? What would we have to do? What would be the logistics? What Swiss are known for, logistics. The logistics experts are saying you can't do it. Why not? Well, we have a chip shortage. Every one of these cards has a chip in it to prevent fraud. You see, Americans and Canadians and others, we are a very nice people, and we're very hardworking, and we have morals and all that good stuff. I think we all believe in democracy, although some North Americans have one version of democracy and others have other. But generally speaking, we're all kind of on the same page. The problem with governments trying to hand out money is that when governments try to give money to people, some people find ways to get money from governments in a way that's not actually legal. They pretend to be 15 people at the same time. It goes on and on. You know what I'm talking about. So a chip in a card can be registered to a taxpayer, could be registered to a car owner somehow through the state's cooperation, maybe. And the experts are going, can't be done. And then the other experts, the political experts, are saying, you can't do it. It can't be done by presidential decree. The president of the United States is not allowed to give every American X amount of money by just handing it to him. It has to go through Congress, which controls the purse strings, and it has to go through the Senate. Dead in the water. Dead in the water. It's 2022. The midterm elections are in November. This is June. It's over. Can't make the cards, haven't got the chips, and you haven't got the political will to want to do it. And so not going to happen. So the White House is sitting there going, geez, how do we help Americans with the price of fuel by giving him money to do it? Now, this didn't make me laugh, by the way. There was some humor in that story, in that this chip shortage is now so bad that even Americans can't get credits. I mean, that's bad. No, what made me chortle is the next part of the story. Because another analyst this morning, I was listening to this broadcast, And the guest on the broadcast was saying, yeah, uh, what Americans don't think about, Canadians don't think about, Brits and Europeans, what they don't think about every day is this invisible tax that we pay when it comes to fuel, the invisible tax. And the invisible tax is simply that if you ever travel to the United Arab Emirates, like Dubai, spend a week there or something like that. If you rent a car, if you're ever there to rent a car, and you have to stop at a gas station to fuel it up, you'll be shocked at how cheap a gallon of gasoline is over there. Um, you'll be shocked if you know of someone, like if you know someone of yours, a friend of yours, that is maybe a diplomat or someone that can travel, say, freely in Saudi Arabia, and they live there and they have a vehicle, they know someone has a vehicle, and they've watched them fill up their car. And by the way, you never get out of your car in Saudi Arabia to fill up your car. You don't get out of your car. They come to you and fill it to you. There's no self-serve. I don't think if there's one. In any event, that's not the point. The price they're paying is so cheap, it boggles the mind in the West. Okay. And then the analyst said, well, of course, look at it this way. You have the government of Saudi Arabia run by a prince, a crown prince, king, or whatever you're going to call the guy. And then he has all of his pals and family members and all that, cousins, and second cousins and uncles and nephews and nieces. And then you have the population of Saudi Arabia, actual Saudis, of which there are millions, 40, 50, 80 million. And all the expats that are going to Saudi Arabia to work for the Saudi nationals and for Saudi businesses. Now, the oil business in Saudi Arabia, number one, all the oil in the ground is the government of Saudi Arabia. It's the king's. It's the king's oil, and the leases to drill, the rights to drill. That's all Saudi. That's the royal family. The company, Aramco, is 88% controlled by the royal family. It's Saudi. It's nationalized. The gas stations are nationalized. The distribution centers, the refineries, it's all nationalized. So if the king decrees that the national price for a gallon of gas or a liter of gas is blah, that's it. And so all Saudi nationals, they get handouts and all kinds of other money from the government, and they get free education and healthcare and blah, 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 blah. All this. They have their jobs and they're making money and yada, yada, yada. And they buy themselves whatever car they want, knowing that the cost of the fuel is not an issue here. So if I want to buy a brand new BMW Alpina with the big V12 in it or the V10 engine, what do I care? Because I fuel that thing up with 30 gallons for $6, $7. This is a joke. And they can burn the fuel off all they want, while we in the West are constantly being told fuel standards are rising. We've got to get more fuel efficient. We've got to reduce our usage. Well, over in the Mideast, it's all subsidized. Who is subsidizing the Mideastern residents over there for their fuel? You are. You and me. We are. We're paying $120 a barrel, $120 a barrel today. 114, 116, whatever the hell it is. West Texas. We're all buying this stuff from these guys, importing it into our country, refining it, and then taxing the bejesus out of it at every level on the way up, so that every county, state, city makes a cut off of oil and gas and gasoline taxes to cover taxes, to cover the budgets, because every single Western-based government, especially in North America, we are chicken shit to go to our people and say, we have to increase your income tax by 1% this year. No politician in North America ever wants to go to the voters and say, I got to raise your income tax by 1% across the board. That's for poor, medium, the howls of protest. But if we increase the price of fuel by having an excise tax increase or an environmental assessment fee tax increase, whatever you want to call it, you slip in a half a penny a gallon here and a penny a gallon there. In Canada, we're really good at this. Up goes the price of fuel at the end of when it comes out of the pump. But all of us are subsidizing every single Middle Eastern-based person that owns a vehicle over there. And so their entire transit systems, their entire airline systems, all of their automobiles, everything, we're paying for it. And that's how it works. And that's what made me laugh, because I thought, yeah. And these are our pals. We are supposed to watch in the next month. If you're in America, you're going to watch your president of the United States fly to Saudi Arabia to go visit the guy that told those guys in Turkey to chop up that journalist into pieces inside the Turkish embassy and take him out in bags. That guy, that's the guy your president is going to go see next month. That guy. Yeah. And try to convince him to allow us, this is the kicker, allow us to buy more fuel from them, more oil at $114, $118 a gallon, a barrel, $114 a barrel, $120 a barrel. How humiliating is that? That's the deal. The last president, some guy named Trump, he went over there to Saudi Arabia and he made friends with the king and told him how great they were and how wonderful they were. And they're the ones also, that Prince guy, he chopped up the journalist when Trump was president. You remember that? For any of you who conveniently forgot, Trump was the president when the journalist got chopped up into small pieces. And what was the reaction from the Trump White House? I hear crickets. That was the reaction. And yet, this president is going to go there to try to convince them to allow America to buy more fuel from these morons. This is what made me laugh, because I'm just thinking, these aren't your friends. When, for God's sake, did the Saudi Arabia people, the guys in Saudi Arabia, ever become pals of the United States of America? Where did those hijackers come from 9/11? Poland? Where did they come from? I mean, give me a break. Everything that could go wrong with this outfit has gone wrong with this outfit. And now, the United States people, the incredible Americans, 350 million of the finest people on the face of the earth, giving, supportive, or donating to Ukraine billions upon billions upon billions of dollars of whatever it takes to help the Ukrainians handle those Russians. Let me ask you this question. Between friends, let me come in. I don't want to upset anybody out here in the other room or something. Let me ask you this question, okay? Have you thought of how many billions of dollars the Mideast countries have given to Ukraine so far? Take your time, don't have to answer right away. But between Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Oman, Kuwait, anyone else over there, how many dollars? How many dollars have they given to Ukraine to knock off the Russians? No rush. Take your time. Oh, by the way, just want to let you know one thing. Just one thing. If you win a lottery in the near future, okay, especially you Americans, some of you Americans could win that Powerball lottery. It's like $500 million from time to time. It's big. Even after tax, you end up with like 140, 170 million bucks in a payout. I want to give you a little safety tip, a little convenience tip. Okay. If you win that kind of money, you could easily buy a jet that is capable of flying from America to Europe, you know, nonstop. Even like you could buy like a 5-year-old used one for 15 million bucks. You know, chump change if you got 150 million. Anyway, I just want to give you a heads up that if you've always wanted to go see Dubai and you wanted to do it in your own private jet, can be done. Yes, indeed. You might have to land in London first. So what? But when you get to Dubai, the problem is that the cost to park your jet there for a week or something like that, it's very expensive because Dubai has run out of space to accommodate private jets coming in. The reason is that a lot of private jets have come into Dubai, have not left. They're still there 4.5 months later. Now, why would there be a whole bunch of private jets in Dubai 4.5 months later when they get there? Where did they all come from? Oh, wait, I know. Pick me. These are all Russian jets. These are all the high-end Russian oligarch jets, and they're all their underlings. They can't fly from Russia anywhere else except maybe Istanbul and Dubai. Everyone else has cut them off. So while we're paying, you in America and my friends in Canada and my associates in the United Kingdom and my viewers in Germany and the people here in Zurich, while we're all paying 5, 6, 8, 9, $10 a gallon for fuel, I just want you to know that where the fuel comes from, they're helping to park Russian jets from sanctions against Russia because of Ukraine. Just little tip. These Middle East people are able to drive their high-end Benzes and Beamers and Bugattis and Bentleys and Rollses and Porsches and everything else for 27 cents a gallon, while you're paying 8, 9, 10. Just so you know. So there you go. That's what's going on. Now that's what made me laugh because I thought, yeah, we're actually helping these guys screw us. We're helping them screw us, and we're doing it willingly. And in theory, we could screw them without firing a shot, without having to send a single young man or woman in a military regiment from Canada or the US or the UK or Germany or anywhere out of NATO. We don't have to send anyone anywhere with a bullet and a gun to take care of our economic issues. We need only to become nationalistic in a way, patriotic in another way, to say my country is more important for its well-being as a country. It's more important for my country that I find a way to cut back my usage of fuel. And if enough of us were to do it, we would crush them economically, destroy them. I'm not kidding. I'm talking about oil at $40 a barrel, just like that. It would be unprecedented. You may have forgotten 2 years ago, oil went negative for a couple of days. It would go negative again. It would foul up so much. For our friends here in Europe, it would bring their oil down. Maybe the price of gas at a gallon would be like $5 a gallon, which would be like unthinkably cheap because the taxes here are pretty high. But irregardless, every country in the world that imports oil will all of a sudden find that their surplus, their trade surplus, is turning around the opposite direction. They're spending less to bring fuel in, and they have more to buy other stuff, which is what America makes. It's what Canada makes. It's what Europe makes. It's the Western world benefiting because the Western world gets its act together finally and says, enough's enough. We are the saps of the modern day world. We are the absolute chumps. And we got to take control of our country's got to take control of our economy. And the way to do it is to tell these Saudis, well, I don't need quite as much as don't need as much this month. Send us a million barrels a day less. Yeah, us too. Oh, over here too. We'll take 500,000 barrels less a day. We don't need as much. We're full up. All of our tanks in Louisiana and all of our storage tanks in Texas and in Canada, where all our storage tanks are, they're all full. So we got lots of fuel, tons. As a matter of fact, over the next 6 months, we think we're going to have to cut back even more for sales, for imports. We have nowhere to put this stuff. And as a matter of fact, in the United States, the U.S. will say, actually, we don't need any oil from anybody. Hey, does anyone need any of our oil? We produce more in America than we need. Does anyone need any oil from us? Now, that would change the dynamic, because all of a sudden, a number of countries that have been less than friendly to America might become very friendly to America, because all of a sudden it's like, well, if we can bring in oil from the United States, which is like, 2,000 miles away or 1,800 miles away from where we are, versus bringing oil from 8,000 miles away, this would be a lot cheaper for us, because, there's the world price of fuel, and then there's the cost of shipping it. Well, if we can bring it in from the USA, from Galveston down here to South America, to Latin America, this would be cheaper for us to have fuel from these guys. And we could make a deal with these Americans. Americans love making deals. Like, how about we buy from you so many millions of barrels of oil over so much time, and you buy from us a whole bunch of our agricultural goods, like bananas and oranges and limes and who knows what, coffee. We'll cut a deal. We'll work tariff deals between us. Good for your oil and gas industry to send gas to us, oil to us, and good for our agriculture to send stuff to you. And you can send us electronic stuff, and we'll send you clothing, and we got stuff. We can make stuff. We love buying American goods. You always love buying our goods. Now we can work a deal. So simple. Not a shot need be fired. How many billions of dollars would the United States have to use to build brand new aircraft carriers and destroyers to work this deal? None. Zero. The American taxpayers' money would not be going into defending our relationship with our friendly allies. Now, the United States money would now be utilized to make Americans healthier, make them live longer, educate their students, turn them into doctors and engineers and all that good stuff. In other words, turn them into high-income taxpayers is what you want to do. That's all you got to do. Just use a little less every day and crush your enemies. Because right now, the enemies are laughing. They're trying not to laugh on camera, actually. They really are. They're trying not to laugh on camera, but it's hard, because there's a whole lot of educated Mideast people over there who know exactly what the score is. And they snicker at us like, these guys are stupid. Like, why would they drive these gas guzzling monster vehicles and send us all this money to buy this stuff? And I can buy gas for 27 cents a gallon, get free education, free healthcare, subsidized housing, courtesy of the American taxpayer, courtesy of the American, not even the American taxpayer, the average American, every American and Canadian, because we import oil from overseas to a degree. It's unbelievable. Every country's got this problem. The Japanese are they don't have any oil. They have to import all of their oil. But if the Japanese could import oil from Saudi Arabia or other legal places for half the price that they are now, which is 114, wouldn't Japan be better off? Yeah, it would. It really would. There wouldn't be an inflation problem in Japan. Japan and America can concentrate on economic cooperation. Yeah. The Russians, they go broke, because in the case of Mr. Putin and his pals, Vlad over there needs a certain price per barrel to come in. He can then skim off the top whole bunch of trillions of dollars that he can pay off to all of his supporters to keep him where he wants to be with his other top guys. But at a certain point in time, there comes a point where even for Russia, a certain price per barrel now means it's a losing proposition to produce a barrel. Russia is so inefficient and is so corrupt in its entire supply chain that if oil dropped under 65, 55 a barrel, they'd have big problems. There would be unrest in the outskirts areas, and then it would come in towards St. Petersburg and Moscow. At $40 a barrel, Russia has a big problem, and they'll try to blame the West on everything. But at the end of the day, Americans are just going to go, well, we're just not using as much oil as we used to, because we're a lot more efficient now. We're smarter now with how much we need. Canadians will do the same, the Brits. And over in Ukraine, well, the Russians are going to have problems arming their kids with enough bullets and bombs and everything else. Because right now they're putting all that oil and gas money back into the military. It's unbelievable. They're paying all kinds of bonuses to the new recruits to find saps stupid enough to want to fight the Ukrainians over there. Unbelievable. What a mess. Anyway, that's my rant, my oil rant for the day. It's a little different tack, but I gotta tell you, we are the saps when it comes right down to it. We are to blame for the system that we got, and we perpetuate it by being inefficient with our fuel usage. As smart as we've become since the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and beyond and beyond and beyond, we use way less fuel per mile now. And we're far more environmentally conscious, and we're far more environmentally friendly with every gallon burned now. Yeah, way to go. But at the end of the day, we're too lazy. We have been too dang lazy to really make the difference. And it's cost us trillions. It's cost us hundreds of thousands of our kids, many gravestones in the US and Canada, military gravestones. Far too many have everything to do with the oil and gas prices, price of gallon of gas. Too many of our children have been lost because we would rather vote a politician out and vote another one in that will give us $2 gas. And we're risking our children to do it. And we sacrificed them. They've been put out there, slaughtered, and they've come back in body bags. And it's undeniable. It is absolutely true. And many a veteran will agree with it. And I'm sorry to have to say it, but it is the truth. And we have got to want it. We've got to want to change that. We have to want to change enough. If we want to change it enough, it'll happen by us. It won't be mandated to us. We won't be made to do it. It's when we make it happen by just automatically, it's now part of my lifestyle that I'm not going to use as much oil and gas as I used to in that past. I'm going to do everything I can now to use less. That's my new operandi, what is that? Operandus, operandi, or whatever you call it. You guys know what I'm saying. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll find what's going on. How you doing? Welcome to the show. The rant is here. Here you go. Look at this, Alex. Bruce, we have the same problem in Europe. We buy fossil fuels from vicious petrostates, including Russia. That's right. That's right. Here in Europe, they are really tearing themselves up, going, geez, we're bringing in natural gas from the Russians, bringing in oil and gas from the Russians. And we thought that we could make them pals and partners in business. The Germans counted on it. The Germans were certain that we will build $10 billion pipeline systems from Russia through the West. And the Russians will be addicted to our money. And they will do well financially. It'll trickle down to the people sooner or later. Some of it does. And they will not tolerate a return back to the old ways. The old Soviet-dominated ways, and the lying media, and the crap from the courts, and the secret police arresting people who walk in the street and say, I don't think that's a good idea to be in Ukraine. Go to jail. And yet, It's happening, and there are no riots in Russia because the population is afraid of its government. Russians are more afraid of Putin than anyone else. And there it is. They won't go. Anyway, there he is. It's amazing. Um, Here he goes. I find it fascinating, says Kiwi. You get 350 million people. And the two best candidates you guys can come up with for president are Trump and Biden. Like those, that's your best. Is that crazy? Mm, mm. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I just tuned in and I saw Bruce on an extreme close up. What's going on? Oh no, 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 no. Yeah. Yeah, here you go. Alex, the answer lies in renewables and efficiency. Yep. Produce your own, use less, import far less, but maintain current standards of living. There aren't enough politicians saying this. Correct. That's correct. Because you can't buy votes. If you're a Texas politician, you want to get into the House of Representatives in the United States, you're never getting elected by Texans if you say we should use less oil and gas and produce more wind and solar. It's kind of like a South Carolina politician saying we ought to outlaw smoking. Yep, 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 yep. Anyway, there you go. Mm. Let's see what else is going on. Mm, 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 mm. Welcome everybody. Yeah, here you go. Don't get me wrong, says Michael. I agree with this, but the U.S. is built for cars and has poor public transport. Yeah, that's right. That's because Americans do not elect politicians who suggest, I think we should invest in public transport. I think we should go just like the Europeans and go hog wild in there. Jen and I were having lunch a little while ago. We're sitting in an intersection here in Zurich, and I was having trouble figuring it out. I'm sitting there going, it's like we're in a traffic circle, but we're not actually in a traffic circle because there are tram lines running through this. And then there's these cars, and it's not a circle, it's more like a long oval kind of thing. And then I counted how many streets came to this oval, and there were like 5 streets that came into this oval. I thought, are there any traffic lights? No, no traffic lights. It's like at first we thought it was organized mayhem, organized chaos. But no, no, it's a highly functional, very efficient system where you have two twin tracks of trams coming through this intersection. And one direction, these two sets of tracks, off they go in their own streets. But on the other direction, the four come together to be two. So you have tram cars going from 2 sets of tracks to 4 sets of tracks coming and going. And then from there, from 4 to 2. And it all is partially happening through this traffic circle, but not yet. The traffic circle is still 4 tracks, 2 sets of 2. And the cars going around, and the people crossing the street, and the cyclists all over the place. And you're just sitting there going, how does no one die? Why aren't there accidents? And it works. And then you realize the reason it all works is that every time a bus comes into the traffic circle, it gets first rights to go. Pedestrians, they get first rights with the buses to come and go. Cars have to wait. Cyclists get allowable movement, but cars and motorcycles have to wait behind. They have to wait their turn. The trams come in, everybody stops because trams are heavy and they're trains. All electrical operated. The buses are all on batteries. And then the back, the buses have these 2 poles that come up. You remember the old days when we used to have the train systems or bus systems in our hometowns that were electric bus systems from way back when. And then once in a while, that one of those power things would let go, and the driver would have to get out and grab the rope and then guide the thing under the line and get the thing to touch the wire again, and he'd be powered up and we'd go. So when the bus runs low on juice, it just powers up go to the line and it charges up its batteries and keeps going. It's genius. No diesel motors. Incredible, and they're beautiful looking machines. Incredible. It's really something. Anyway, it's sad. A lack of walkable cities here makes me sad, says Olivia. Touchcard, take the lessons that Apple used to storm the world and apply to our energy. What can I say? In the meantime, the markets are losing the gain they had. We're down to 3 minutes. Putting people back in the office will not help our gas situation. I hear you there. I hear you. Folks, welcome everybody. Alex, sell my house. The UK is planning for carbon-free electricity generation for days at a time by 2025. It's not easy, but it's completely possible. I'm a long way away from USA, and I know nothing about US politics, but I can't understand from the outside looking in, why would a woman vote for this guy, Trump? Why? I think a lot of people in North America are asking the same question, Tim. I guess that's why Powell says Fed is acutely focused on returning inflation to our 2% objective. Here you go. Tiff, Kiwi, me either. Cindy, I don't know why anyone would vote for that guy. Kiwi, it's all because all you hear is the media. You didn't experience how much worse it is now compared to when Trump was president. How much worse it is now when Trump was president. Was it better when Obama was president than before Trump became president? Was it better under Obama? What can I say? Crazy. Modus operandi. Thank you. Someone who's listening. My wife is born again. She wouldn't vote Biden just for that. What can I say? Jimmy Carter asked Americans to wear a sweater. He got eviscerated. It's true. Yeah. What everybody's hero, Clinton? What about that guy? I'm searching for short positions. Anybody know any? We're going public in 2 minutes. We're trading in 2 minutes. San Fran still uses those buses. I know. Lots of political comments, but that's my fault today. Okay, we're up 64 on the Dow, but only 64. Jen's got the tea going right now. She's got her water boiling up. Okay. We're up 12 on S&P. We're up 44 on NASDAQ. Crude down 240 a barrel. Someone's listening to me. Somebody's listening to me about crude. We're going to use a lot less of it than down it goes. Jimmy Carter is still building houses with Habitat for Humanity. Good guy. By the way, what's wrong with sweaters? When did that become un-American? I hear you. What can I say? I hate. What are you gonna do? What can I say? Sweaters are un-American. Who knew? Larry, the bells have rung. Thank you, Larry. We can talk about the market now, I hope. At least I'll try and talk about the market with this voice. My gosh. All right, let's see what's going on. We were down a few dollars on the old GameStop. Let's see what's going on now. I've got the Dow down 79 at the moment. Let's see if that's going to hold or not. Uncle Bruce, we love the rant. Thanks, Cody. We got GameStop at 127.79 up 206. Okay, and let me refresh my good old iPad here. Big ass iPad. 128 even. 127.79. We're up $2, 227 on GameStop at the moment. Okay. From what I can tell you, down 18 on the Dow right now. Is that accurate? I don't know. My biggest iPad is not working very well. Have you guys ever had it happen with your big ass iPads where you do a refresh? You're on a web page, you can do a refresh, and you get this thing show up on the bottom third of your iPad which is this cookies thing. It's a cookies thing, and you say it's okay, I agree, and then every time you refresh it, it comes back again, and the cookies question never stops coming up. Do you get that? How do you make that go away? If anybody knows, please let me know. I'm not sure what to do. I'm going to try one thing right now that might work. I don't know. We're going to try this, and we'll see if this works. But I'm not telling you what it is. It's top secret. Oh my gosh, we're up 12 on the Dow. We're up 12. Okay. Let's see what we got here. What can we do here? Here, we'll do this, and we'll do we'll do that. We'll try that. We're down 24 on the Dow. We're up 3 on Matterport. There we go with that. And now we're going to go over to here. I'm just about done. Just 1 sec. I think I'm up. Did that help? Maybe. We're down 16. We're down 11 on the Dow. Let's refresh and see if my biggest iPad behaves itself. It doesn't seem to be giving any updates. Again, it seems to be stuck in its own little world, I think. The Dow shows now 4.7 on the upside. Okay. Yeah, I don't know quite what happens. Okay. GameStop 128.50 right now. Hang on. Let me do this first. Okay. Yeah, we're up 23 on the Dow, 13 on S&P. We're up 86 on NASDAQ. Oil down 182 to 115.77. Okay, 129 on GameStop right now. A little better. Bruce, clear the cache. I don't know how to do that. What does that mean? I don't know. Clear the cache.
Okay, we'll do that when we're off.
We'll do that when we're off. Okay. Someone knows that. Someone else knows that. Coyote Market wanting to pretend everything's normal again so far. Laughing out loud. Yeah. Yeah, not so normal. Oh gosh, no. I got Matterport at 388 up 4. Smart Rent at 479 down 3. SoFi at 559 up 12. Spire 145 up a penny. GameStop 128.57 now, up 284. AMC up 29 cents. ATIP up a penny, 180. Rocket Lab 417.5 up 3.5. Cyxtera up 15 to 12.97. ME 241 up 5. Pfizer at 47.86 up 39 cents. HPQ up 20 cents to 32.91. Home Depot up $1.15 to $2.74. Nick scored on that Home Depot the other day, so that was good news. Robinhood $6.97 on Robinhood. Yuck, and it's up 7 cents. Yuck. Vanik 194 higher at 205.92. IBM up 108 to 136.75. Microsoft up 195 to 246.92. Goldman down 154 to 283.44. Apple up 156. Cisco up 61 cents. Facebook Meta up 172. Amazon up 85 cents. 104.51. Tesla up 680. Google up 11.40. Bed Bath Beyond 6.12. BlackBerry 5.15. Those two are about to match. It's unbelievable. They're about to merge. Merge in price, I guess. Royal Caribbean 35.09, down 7. It's where it was supposed to be all along. $60 lower. Look at that. What a run on the downside. Carnival 8.83. Norwegian 10.51. It's about time these stocks got down here, because they're not even worth this. Unbelievable. Target down 2.95. JP Morgan up a quarter. Costco up $1.25. Walmart down 28. Nvidia up 2.69. Disney 74 cents higher at $95. DeSantis wants to run for president. This guy is going to get his butt handed to him by the Walt Disney Company all behind the scenes. They're going to destroy this guy. He doesn't have to do anything. No one else has to do anything. Disney is going to take care of Mr. DeSantis. He is going to go down in flames. This guy is asking for it. American Airlines down 2 pennies. Netflix 176 down 340. Moderna 250 higher at 123. Wow. Oh my goodness. 72-point gain now on the Dow. And I'm going to try to update my big ass iPad. It seems to be, well, I think it's working, but I don't think it's working. Well, it seems to be working on the stock quotes, but it's not really working. Wait a minute. Maybe it is working. Like, I've still got some kind of a glitch, but it's better. Okay. We'll check the cash later. Alberto, uncle, some powder coming my way. What would you recommend? Averaging down on existing stocks or buy a boatload of SoFi, or should I diversify? This is interesting. Well, SoFi, you can't go wrong buying it. You just can't, because this thing is going to go so much higher than it is. The all-time low is 482, and it's now 554. Absolutely ridiculous. But all right, I've said my piece on SoFi. Averaging down on existing stocks is the other part of the question. He's got more than one position. That might be another way to go. Or adding to positions where you're writing contracts to make money, or taking on new positions on stocks where you can write options to make more cash flow, which allows you to keep averaging down on your stock. So set yourself up in such a way that you can continue to grow your cash flow to continue to diversify your portfolio and average it down. When the time comes that SoFi is $30 a share and you're writing Gawa billions of contracts, think of me fondly wherever you are. You'll sit back with a cigar on a lounger somewhere and go, I'll never forget what's his name. He got me here. I'll never forget what's his name. Never going to forget that guy. Is that a guy? Yeah, I think so, because he had that big bald forehead, right? Yeah, I remember. I'll never forget what's his name. Nick, Uncle Bruce, if I have a long position and I've written covered calls against it, why can I not short the same stock? Well, yeah, brokerage rules. You're going to have a separate account for that one. Because the only way you're going to be able to short a stock is to liquidate on what you got and then short from there. So, yeah, no. Yeah, that's the problem. Cody, I'm thinking more green than red. Okay. Triple dog dare. Uncle Bruce, does it ever make sense to let the call you wrote get exercised and then buy the shares back later when the price drops instead of rolling over? I wrote a GameStop 115 expiring today. I received $1,000 for it. What do you think? So you've written a 115 and the stock's at 127. So if you let this expiration happen, you're going to end up with 115 plus the 1,000, $125 a share. Is there something wrong with taking the 125 a share is the question. And on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, if the stock dips below 125, shouldn't I just buy it back then? And I'll write another contract. Maybe I'll write a 120, bring in 1,000 for that, or 1,200. And if I get exercise, so what? I'm now getting $132. There's nothing wrong with that. The only issue is, I guess, is where it is you're trading at. What platform are you with? And what brokerage firm are you using? Are they quick at settling this up? Are you kind of out of the loop for a few days while they iron out the back office crap? Are their fees ridiculous? Do they charge you a $100 handling fee to do this stuff? This is stuff you have to think about, because otherwise, you got a call that's in the money and you're coming to expiry. It's just as simple to buy the calls back that you've written and write next week calls, the same calls, or the week after, and take in more money. And If the stock backs off in a few days, you'll buy the call back for less and make your money. I mean, so instead of playing the back office crap. So it might be cheaper, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Triple dog dare, it might be cheaper to roll over contracts rather than allow exercising to be done from a fee point of view. And it might be more convenient from a trading point of view because there isn't as much back office delays depending on who you're using. If it's instantaneous and it's quick and it's cheap and it's all, and then fine, then play the way you want to play. It's totally up to you. Oh, Mirko Alberto, I bought 200 HPQ yesterday, 32.51. Oh man, that sounds pretty good to me. 33.16. Yeah, that is pretty good. Nice buy. The Dow's up 188 points. Mirko did write 2 calls, 35 for $1 against it. Says Mirko, I wrote two $35 calls for $1. Could make some money there. Yes, you can because they aren't over 35. Nicely done. Nice job, Cody. I'm just saying, I think we're going to see some strength into short intro, into the short story. Tiff, we will eat a bagel every Friday in your memory. We'll never forget you, whatever your name was. Alberto, thanks for answering my question. You angry, balding shorty. You are the goat. Thank you, Alberto. Thank you very much. Do appreciate it. Jen and I appreciate that. Here in Zurich, we need money. Apparently, it seems expensive here. Yes. Nick, thanks, Uncle. What's his name? Thanks, Uncle. What's his name? Lame duck. I bet I let my stocks expire and I write puts against a stock or buy something around that price. Alberto, nice work, Mirko. Triple dog dare. Thanks, Uncle B. You got it. You betcha. The Dow's up 165 right now. Matterport up 11 to 395. Smart right up 14 to 496. SoFi up 15 cents to 562. Spire up 1.4 to 145.4 cents. GameStop up 509 to 130.82. AMC up 63 cents. ATIP unchanged 179. Rocket Lab up a dime to 424. Sixtera up 23 cents to 1305. ME up 7.2 cents to 243.2. Pfizer up 28 cents. HPQ up 36 to 3307. Writing $35 calls, good idea. Twitter down 3 cents. Home Depot 127 higher. Robinhood 703 up 14. Vanik 232 higher at 206. IBM up $1. Microsoft up 316. Goldman down only 38 cents. Apple up 171. Cisco up 53. Meta Platforms up 223. Amazon up 175. Tesla up $15. Google up 24. Okay. Bruce gets the highest honors. Thank you, Touchgrass. Mirko, Zurich is very expensive. One of the most expensive cities, at least in Europe, among the top 15 in the world, I guess. Nazareth, what are we looking for to write calls on GameStop? Uncle Bruce, it's a rise today, so I would be looking at stock at 127.89. If I were writing calls for next week Friday or the Friday after that or that, 135s to 140 is where I'd be writing. I want to be out of the money. This is me talking. It's just my thing. The further out you go, the more decent the premium could be. So if you can write a 140 call, that's 12 something, almost 12 out of the money, a little over 12 out of the money, and you can get 10, 11, 12 bucks for it, yeah, baby, take that kind of cash and the 140 strike price and say, thank you, sir. May I have another? If the shares want to back off to 110 next week sometime and you wrote a 140 call, you know what you're doing. You're going to buy those back. You'll turn around now and write a 130 for 2 or 3 or 4 weeks out. Yes, you will. And that's the deal. Trucker Tech, good morning, all. Number 128, thumbs ups. Give those thumbs. Simpletons, thank you, everybody. Lame duck. I keep the full premium, then write for another premium instead of rolling and having to wait weeks to get the full premium. There you go. Coyote, I knew the markets were going to be green today when the news came out this morning that the Fed reversed their 75 basis points decision and said the recession was over. Go home, everybody. There's nothing to see here. Everything's fine. Tiff, Mirko, what the expiry date for your HPQ covered call? Asked Tiff. In 2020, Zurich tied with Hong Kong and Paris as the most expensive cities to live in. Well, I got to say this: there's no garbage floating around on the streets around here. We didn't see any homeless people. Didn't run into any beggars. Vienna must be expensive too, because in Vienna, Jennifer and I noticed a number of things, and Jennifer really noticed certain things from her perspective as a woman. She was generally impressed and taken by how many women singly on their own were out jogging, were riding bikes by themselves, walking along the sidewalk at all hours. I mean, 7 in the morning, 7 at night. We're not talking 3 in the morning. We're in bed at 3 in the morning. I don't know what's going on at 3 in the morning. In downtown Vienna and here in busy Zurich, it's a pretty safe place. As a matter of fact, I have to say, today we were out having lunch at a restaurant with outdoor seating. I didn't notice any police anywhere. Um, yeah, I didn't hear a siren. Um, yeah, now we're not in downtown, old town by the lake, Zurich. We're up a little bit off to the side of it, but this is a residential area. Jen and I were noticing when we went for a walk from our hotel over towards, there's a grocery store about a block and a half away, and then a little further we saw a restaurant. We walked that distance. We knew we were in really a residential spot, and then we came to a major intersection which was really busy, commercial, obviously, with transit and everything else. No cops, no police officers, nothing, and it was just orderly. Women going about their business, men, moms with strollers. It's pretty nice, very nice. Mirko, month out, July 22 is one I wrote. Ron, you're not suggesting that we sell SoFi into strength, are you? No, don't think so. Where did you get that? Michael, sell as in right. Ron, stink it. There you go. You want to write calls on positions into strength positions. So we're talking about 135.40 GameStop. If GameStop wants to go up on you, then write him right up there. Yeah. Look, GameStop here. What did it hit today? What was the high today? 132.87. Why wouldn't you write 135s and 140s into this stock? That's what you should do. Go 3-4 weeks out and nail it. To make you money. Make them try to take your stock from you at 140 plus the premium. You're getting 150 for it. You think you can ever buy it back for less than 150? I would think so. What can I say? Yeah. Okay. There's definitely opportunity out there to write on Pfizer, HPQ. There's opportunity to write on IBM, Microsoft, Goldman, Apple, Cisco, Amazon at 105.44. You can write 107s, 108s now. There's opportunity here to make money as an option writer. Whether you own the stock or buy an in the money call, write a per man cover call, make some dough here. Get paid. It's time. This market is not going straight up anywhere right now. No, this market has issues, and there are underlying issues that this market has that are going to really pay you handsomely to be an option writer. This is where you are going to be very well rewarded for being an option writer. Yeah. Okay. Mm. Oh my goodness, so much fun. We're up 161 on the Dow right now. S&P is up 28. Nasdaq's up 153. Nasdaq is up 1.4, and it was only up like a third of a point and half an hour ago. Now it's turned around and come on again. S&P is up 0.77. The Dow's up 0.51. All right. American Express, Salesforce share gains lead the Dow right now higher. Okay. Adobe stock is falling. Earnings guidance was disappointing. We're going to get more of this. We're going to get more of this for days and weeks on end across the S&P 500 and everywhere else. Get ready for many, many more of those kinds of warning announcements, which is why I'm saying right into some strength here. We're only up 166 points. What do we drop this? Like I said, in 2 weeks, we dropped 3,000 points. We're up 166. Is this a resounding come on back to the market? No. It's a temporary, we're going to go lower. We're going a little higher now, and then we're going to go lower. And that's why you're writing out of the money calls for a short period of time to say thank you. I'll take the time depreciation here. You give me 1 or 2 weeks where this thing just peters out to nothing, and the stock doesn't even have to do anything. Oh, I'm loving this. This is great. Yeah, pension fund managers are really earning their money right now. Hedge fund managers, mutual fund managers. These kids, these men and women around the world are earning their keep by writing call options to the gamblers that somehow think that everything's going to be all right. We're going to hit new all-time highs next month. They believe it. How? I don't know. It must be the cheap booze, I guess, giving them, false hopes. I don't know. There's opportunity here. Opportunity knocks. What happens if we have calls out during a split? Everything splits. So if you had ownership of 100 Amazon shares 2 months ago, and you'd written a call against it, say the stock was 2,200 and you'd written a $2,500 call or something like that, then the stock split 20 for 1, right? You'd now, instead of having 100 shares of Amazon, you'd now have 2,000 Amazon, 20 to 1. But instead of having written 1 call, you've now written 20 calls. But each call is a 125 contract, where it used to be a $2,500 contract. So it's all relative to you. You have just as much money in the stock. You've written the same kind of contract. It's all just more multiples thereof. It's all it is. It's all good. So if the shares went down here to 104, 103, those 125s collapsed in value. And you may have bought them all back. And you may now have written brand new contracts, 20 contracts you may have written at, say, 110 for the next 3 or 4 weeks out, as you brought it back as the stock went down. That's what happens if there's a split. It's no big deal. In Market Watch, biggest mover highlight yesterday was a space stock move from low 3 range to 850. All I could think of is, why are our SPACs not doing the same? I wish I could tell you. I wish I could. But it shows how quickly something can move even in this market. That's true. Nick, I bought 2,500X at 1956, and I wrote 25 covered calls for 29 cents today, expiring $20 strike. It's in the money, trading at 75.78. I have a feeling I'm not going to hold 20.5 at end of the day. Should I roll over, do nothing, if it get exercised, or let it be? Well, what you could do, Nick, is one of your choices that you could make is you could choose to buy back these calls and then write $20 calls for next week or the week after for probably more money because of the time you're offering them. I mean, they're in the money a little bit right now. The stock's 20.48, so they're 48 cents in the money. Now, my hunch is that if the shares back off here a little bit, which they could, these calls will back off too. Obviously, the book value of your call is 50 cents because the stock's at 20.50 right now. You're quoting me 75.78 because there's the rest of the time left till this afternoon, I'm assuming, because it's today expiring. But, take a look at a call contract for the next 1 or 2 weeks out, even 20s, and write 20s for $1.10. Take the extra cash, and if the stock backs off to 1980 the next week or so, it's out of the money, and it's going to go back down to 70 or 60. You'll make money. I mean, you can wait it out, obviously, too. Now, you can wait this one out right to this afternoon. So if your stock goes to 2030 this afternoon, these contracts will be worth 30 cents each and you'll have broken even on them. But you're up on your stock from what you paid for them. And then you buy them back at 30 and then write next week 20s for whatever you can get, or the week after. So you get some options here. You get some choices. Austin, my umbrella gets delivered today. My umbrella. At approximately 4 o'clock today, I will have a drink in my hand, sitting in a beach chair whilst drooling. The umbrella in a drink, old trick there. That's what we got going on. Sounds like a good time, says Michael. Alex, Austin, fix yourself a nice cocktail. Let's stick an umbrella in that too. There you go. GameStop, 131.83, up 610. There you go. If you have calls that expire today on GameStop, you can at any time buy them back and write exactly the same call for next week or the week after or the week after or the week after and take the increased money in premium. Or maybe, possibly, you could buy back the call you've written down and write a call for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks out at $5 or $10 higher on a strike price. Check that out today. See if that's doable for you. Okay. Lame Duck, does the 30-day wash rule apply to writing calls that get exercised for a lower price? I don't have the answer to this one. Does anyone with U.S. tax knowledge know the answer to that question? Joe, Uncle Bruce is writing a $6 covered call on SoFi expiring July 1. Too close to the money. Not sure what kind of upside to expect with so much red lately. I don't know if it's worth your time. I don't know how many pennies would you get for this? Like, how many are they? Is it worth your time at all? I really can't answer. I mean, we're dealing with real pennies here. Like, aren't we? Aren't we dealing with pennies? Because late to the show, what, why, what's, what, how, where, when, Bruce, something, huh? Cheers. We've talked about this. Christina's late. What are we going to do with Christina? If she doesn't want to show up on time, do we stop the whole show and rewind everything just for Christina? I mean, what is what here? Christina, there are more buyers and sellers today. That much I can tell you. I just don't know how long it's going to last. I can tell you that too. Adventure with Duncan, buy the paper, Joe. Nazareth Lame Duck, yes, it is still a sale at that price. So if it's a loss, you will enact the wash rule, and if you rebuy within 30 days. Okay. 156 gain on the Dow. Nothing serious. Nothing great. Matterport's up a quarter. Smart Rent's up 44. 526. SoFi up 21 to 568. Spire up 6 to 150. GameStop up 514, 130.87. Look at that steal there, Nick. 2038. Those contracts are dropping in value there, buddy. Anyway, just saying. AMC 1246 up 65. ATIP up 6. The Rocket Lab up 11. Sixtera up 28. ME up 11. We're all green here. This is great. Pfizer up 3. HPQ up 65. Okay. All righty. Well, I'm losing my voice big time. You can probably figure out just kind of watch. But hanging on as best I can here. Yeah, here we go. Smart Rent bid ask for $5 calls expiring today is 5 to 9.5. Biggest gap I've seen in a while. Stock's trading at 520 right now. 520. It's 5 to 95. Is that the bid ask? Between 5 to 95. Stock's at 520. So the contract is worth 20 cents in real life. And it dies tonight. And so someone's asking 95 cents. Jeez. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'd avoid those. Just stay away. Joe, I get about $900. I'd use that cash to help raise my GameStop contract. It's currently at 107 strike expiring today. Currently at 107 strike price. Nick, I just shorted 50 Tesla at $6,600. If the market goes red, so will Tesla. We'll short more if it goes up. But again, that feeling that I have, it's going to drop. He thinks the market's going lower, and so far he's right. We're only up 103 now on the market. Joe, need a little paper to jump this GameStop higher than just a few bucks. Lame duck. I'm in a retirement fund. Does that matter? Well, it's your call. Not pulling out money yet. It's I can't help you there. You're on your own there. You need advisory help, maybe from a taxman. GameStop 129.24, 128.61. GameStop's backing off. The Dow's only up 80. We're dropping quick. What's going on? Why is the market dropping quick? But it is. Leading economic index falls 0.4% in May. I see that going through. Maybe that's what it is. S&P is off. NASDAQ looks like it's dropping a bit. Oil down 334. $3.34 on oil to 114. Okay. Uncle Bruce, are there any put plays we can look at for the next 6 months? What could you do on put plays? Trying to think of a good put play, to be honest. Is there a good put play? Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I guess you could theoretically, but I don't know if you have any premium in it. Is there any premium trying to write a cash secured put on HPQ at like 30? Is there any hope? Like if you were to write an HPQ cash secured $30 put that had 3 to 6 months of life left in it, is there any money in there for you? I don't know if there is. Because I like my chances that HPQ will be higher than 33 than lower. Closer to 40 than down to 30. That's just me. Pfizer, $43, $44 puts, cash secureds, maybe. Would you write those? Writing a cash secured put on IBM, a 130 for 3, 4, 5 months. Is there any? But you got to come up with 13.5 to write one contract. It's expensive. Microsoft will want you 24,700 to write one cash secured put. If you want to write, maybe you write a 230, that's 23 grand. Apple 131. You want to write a 120 a 120 cash secured put on Apple at 120, 12 grand. It's expensive. Cisco $40 cash secured put, 4 grand. Maybe there's some room there. Just saying. You want to write an Amazon put? Maybe a 100 or a 95. Still need $9,500, 10 grand to write an Amazon put. Is it worth your while? I don't know. Is the premium good enough for that kind of move? Wing Commander SoFi, January 23, 5 cash secured puts go for 110. Trading idea, sell 5 cash secured puts. Turn around and buy the stock. What are your thoughts? Well, you got to put up the money at 5. So you got to put up $2,500. You're going to get $550 in cash for it. Eventually, you have to deal with this contract. All right. Now, obviously, if the stock stays above 5, the contract will expire worthless. You won't have to buy it back. That's true. But it's a long wait, isn't it? $550 on $2,500. So I don't know. $570 on the stock though for SoFi. GameStop 129.57 up 384. Oh, by the way, Wing Commander says I'm thumbs up number 140. Thank you for the thumbs up number 140. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you all for being here today, supporting Jennifer and I while we're in Zurich as homeless Canadians, desperately trying to find a way to survive in Switzerland. Drinking what they call now Swiss-made Coca-Cola. Look at that. See? Look at that. Right there. Swiss-made. See? Ooh, it's fancier. Is it? Is it really? I don't know. We're up 64 on the Dow. We seem to have given up a bit of ground here. The Dow has definitely backed off a bit. We were at 30,167. We're now 985. So 192 points we've given up in not a lot of time. I don't have the answer, but that's why. That's what it is. GameStop has given up some ground from 132.87 down to 129.40. Okay. Twitter's red. IBM is down a nickel. Goldman's still red, $2. Target down $2. Costco down $1. Walmart down 120. American Airlines down 7 cents to 12.09. Yeah, there's red in them there hills. Not everywhere, just here and there. Just whatever. Okay. GameStop volume 600,000. Not great. Not too great. Anyway, there you have it, kids. That's the latest from here. I think what I'm going to do is the smart thing. I'm going to rest my voice now and take a bit of a break. Come back with you for the final hour of trading today at 3 o'clock Eastern time. We'll get together at 3 o'clock Eastern for the final hour. We'll see how much voice I've got, if I can make it for the whole thing. And then I'm going to take the weekend and power down this voice for sure. Keep an eye on everything. 129.22 on your GameStop. SoFi 573, 572. Hanging in. And thanks again, Alberto. Thank you for that donation, buddy. You're always there for us. I appreciate it so much. Fabulous, all of you, for helping out. Keep an eye on your markets and your calls and see what gives. And be good. Hopefully, you can join me if you have the chance to join me later today. Please do. Remember, markets are closed Monday, so I'm not on the air until Tuesday. Okay, I'll be on this afternoon, and I won't be on until Tuesday on this channel. John, thank you. Trucker Tech, thank you. You got it, buddy. All those trade ideas. Duncan, take care, pal. Zach, thanks, Uncle Bruce. Get some good rest. Will do for sure. Jen's going to work on me here. We'll get some rest. And we'll take it easy. We'll keep you posted at 3 today, okay? We'll watch together what happens. And we'll go from there. In the meantime, this is Bruce and Auntie Jen saying goodbye from Zurich, Switzerland. Who would have thought?